Good evening. This is Eric Humphrey from Quiet on the Set magazine. And today, or this evening, sitting next to me here is Julius Martin from Berdan, New York Men's Intimate Apparel. He is a graduate from Howard University.
It's you.
You know, this is how I met this young man. Like, good God.
Somebody.
Wow.
Ooh.
Don't tell on ourselves.
I know.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah, he was a little scrawny kid on campus, running around with Dr. Jeff Fleming. So I'm going to shout out to Jeff Fleming for coaching this guy and whatever.
Dr. Fleming.
Dr. Fleming. So, Berdan, New York Men's Intimate Apparel.
Yes.
Is your baby.
Yes, it is.
Tell me, how did you get started?
Well, the interesting thing was I was a designer in New York.
Mm-hmm.
I left Howard and I moved to New York to pursue my passion.
Which was?
Becoming a fashion designer. So I actually went to FIT to study design because I felt I needed to work on some of my skills in Illustrator and Photoshop. Upon there, it's a really crazy story. I was hanging out at the club and I was partying with some friends. And I was at FIT as a student and I wanted to intern at Sean John. And as I was hanging out, I ran into Sean John's administrative assistant, Nicole. And we met, and she actually gave me her card, and I actually got connected with the internship with Sean John's menswear, and I worked there for a little bit, and then I went on to become an assistant designer.
Okay, so who do you consider your first fashion influencer?
Woo. I think everyone says, my mother was very powerful with silhouettes and the way she wore her clothes. Pictures that I would see, and even looking in her closet, I mean, you saw all types of fur coats and all type of embellishments and sequins. So I think she was the first one that kind of inspired me. But then I also was living at my grandmother's house, so there was a sewing machine there, and I was just so interested in the sewing machine, and I actually knew how to use it before even actually learning how to sew. So that was really unique, and that was kind of my inspiration on as far as my mother, and then being able to use the machine without really knowing the concept of what a sewing machine is.
Now, why Men Intimate Apparel?
It's a good question.
Let's go back to that.
I'm gonna be honest. I felt that was the easiest thing to make for an inexpensive price point. When you do collections and you do outerwear, you have to worry about fabric. Fabric is a lot when you're designing a jacket or a pair of pants. So I thought about underwear because I felt it was the easiest thing for me to afford at that time to make. And that's what kind of got me into that actual designing that concept. Okay,
so you can say that was when you explored fashion as a career?
That was when I was working in the industry. I worked in the industry for over 9 years. Upon midway, I started thinking about creating my own because I was designing for Calvin Klein boys wear. I designed for Macy's, Izod, Dillard's, Stage Stores, all different. Steve Harvey's menswear at Fishman and Tobin. So I was really thinking about doing my own thing because what I realized in fashion, and what people don't understand, there's different levels of fashion designers. There are those designers that do not work in the industry. They create their own. They actually sew with the sewing machine, and they produce 1 or 2 samples. But then there's corporate fashion design. Those are the individuals that actually work in the industry for the corporation. So you might work for Sean John, or you might work for Macy's, or you might work for Vera Wang. So the corporate designers are the ones who work for the major companies. But as a designer, what you have to realize, you have a team called merchandisers. And so you're creating this amazing design, and then the merchandiser team comes in, and they basically stretch your design up. Oh, we can't afford those buttons. We can't afford that zipper. We can't afford that fabric. And what happens, your design that you created, that you wanted to actually be in stores, become dwindled down to where it's so basic because of price point. So when you design fashion, you always have to think of price point, how much it's going to cost, what is my ROI, what's my return on my investment, how much money will I make from this product selling. So I kind of got tired.
So that's why you said men's apparel or intimate apparel. Why did you just call it men drawers?
Well, it's
men panties, men underwear.
Well, I think intimate apparel make it a little bit more sophisticated. It makes it a little bit more sophisticated. And that's what it is. It's the undergarment of a man. And it's the closest fabric to the skin. The most important fabric, because it's to your skin. It's skin to skin. So, you know, jackets and coats and pants, you know, it's not as intimate as that experience of the fabric being on different private parts of your body. So that's why that is, because it's an intimate moment you're having with that fabrication.
And I know you incorporate comfort, because I know
comfort is extremely important.
People be buying these tighties and bikinis and all, and down in there, the boys are squeezing. It's like, okay, so you got to think about comfort. People
live for fashion. And there are some brands that don't fit well, but they look well.
Yeah.
So it depends on what's important to you. Is having a nice pair of underwear that's going to make you feel sexy or look sexy, but feel uncomfortable for a certain period of time, or is comfort more important than the actual style or fabric, not fabric, but the actual style of the underwear? Some people consider, I want this underwear to look a certain way, and I will go with the discomfort.
Now, just like outerwear, fashion garments, and the designers base it on the seasons. Do you base your intimate apparel on seasons? As use of colors and material?
So what normally happens, because it's a garment that's really unseen. You don't see it because it's underneath other clothes. So you can base the color on seasons. Like when it's springtime, people want to feel bright. They want to have bright colors. They want to have different type of technical fabric. So you got moist wicking, you got air dry, you have things that will help you during that time of the season. Because there's sometimes you sweat.
Then you said moist. Can I say moist wicking? What is moist? Moist
wicking.
Can you spell that so we would know?
It's moist, and then it's wicking. WICKING.
Okay.
What it does, it actually takes this sweat from your private area and traps it into the fibers of the fabric. So it's actually cooling you off. So you're not wet or sweating down there. It's a technical fabric that is being used currently now. Right now, what's really big in the industry is fabrication with technology. I mean, you look at Nike, you look at Adidas, you look at Reebok, you're going to see that they're using all of this technology and fabrics. And those are the underwear that's really doing well, where you have different technologies in the fabric, because then you can sell them for a higher price point because you have a special type of fabric you're using.
Oh, okay. Very well. So after you graduated from Howard University, you worked and studied in New York for more than 8 years. But then in your profile, you had relocated to Chicago. Why Chicago?
Okay. So after being in the industry for about 8 to 9 years, the particular company I was working for decided to shut brands down that weren't doing well. And also have, there's a company called Ling Fung. It's a Korean company that started buying up the different companies. It's amazing. New York's fashion has changed. It used to be a really heavily Jewish market, and they used to own a lot of the apparel companies. But now this company, Ling Fung, has actually come in and has purchased major brands throughout the industry, especially in boys wear and children's wear. So I decided at that time that I was going to relocate to a different state so I could focus on designing my brand and actually go back to graduate school and work on a master's in visual communications. And that's what I did. I selected Chicago. I'll be honest with you, there was someone I was dating in that particular state, and I decided to move there because of that. And it was a good thing. You know, you have ups and downs. The relationship didn't last, but the
underwears did.
But the underwears did, exactly. And the accomplishments of being in Chicago lasted. Let me tell you something. Chicago is an amazing place. The weather's not great. We all know that. But as far as the structure of the buildings and the modern versus old, and the city is probably, I would say, one of the most beautiful cities in the United States. and an inspiration is all throughout the city.
Okay. So let's cut to one of your fashion shows. Which one?
Okay, this was the very first show in 2012 that I actually put on, my very first show.
And what was introduced during that time?
That collection was my black and white collection, were the actual product that I sold, but I showed a myriad of colors throughout that fashion show as well. Okay. So you'll see purples, reds, and grays. It really was a great show.
Okay. We're not on.
We're not on? Okay.
He's playing straight through. So.
Oh, okay, so no one's going to see us.
No one's going to see us.
Did I tell you I was an auditor? That's why they hired me at my new job.
Well, cheers to you. Real crystal, real glass.
I know that's right.
They're talking about, why are you being so fancy? Why not? Live the life you live once.
You're right. Let me tell you. That's so true. That was a stripper right there.
Can he talk through this? Okay. It would be nice if we can, and you'd be talking about what was being seen. We have to get that. Can you tell us about some of the items being shown there?
Yeah. Now? Oh, okay. So this is actually a raglan tee, navy blue and white, with a pair of brief underwear with a contrasting waistband. It's just something that's stylish, it's fun, it's wearable. Now this particular trunk, this is one of our trunks with a printed stripe, one of the hot sellers with the contrasting waistband logo and with the back lift. That's my black boxer brief. That's the staple of the line, the first actual product I designed. Then we have our red. Everyone loves red for some. That's orange. Everyone loves orange for some reason, as well as red. But that was one of the Miami collection's hot seller. This right here is just a regular boxer brief gray melange fabric.
Now, do any of those have that technology?
Yes. Well, that collection they didn't, because that was my first collection. But the other collections actually did.
Have the wicker,
moist wicketing,
air
dry, yes.
Okay.
And those are properties that men want to wear, because one of the things that I really wanted to do is to have someone be able to wear it throughout the day and then be able to go to the gym and work out in the same pair of underwear and feel that comfort and have the same technology happening while they're in the gym.
Okay, very well. And this was a Chicago show?
This was in Chicago, yes.
Okay.
It was in the West Loop.
So this is how Chicago helped inspire you?
Yeah, Chicago, the audience, the craftsmanship, the people there. Let me tell you something. Chicago, I would say, put on more fashion shows than, other than New York, the second city that put on the most fashion shows I've seen.
Okay, fade it out. So now, I like those. I have to wear something like to my thighs.
Okay, so you like the mid
like
underwear, the long ones,
Not the long ones to the knees, like
the mid that actually comes out. It comes about 9 inches down from your actual hip to your thigh.
They're more comfortable than the bikini.
Well, it depends on if you have bigger legs and they rub. Those are the better ones because the fabric is separating your skin from each other. So sometimes you have to wear those ones, and those are popular ones as well.
Okay. So most designers, especially just launching a new collection, create clothes that can be seen. Why did you decide to design men underwears? Again, I asked you at the beginning, but we only touched bases on it. But why did you decide to do that? Because I know there's so many routes that you could have taken in regards to fashion.
Now, being that I was in the industry and I worked in the corporate arena, I had factories in China, Donggo, that I can contact, and I had relationships with those factories that I can call. Underwear was the product that had the less fabric, and I was able to be creative and design it for the budget that I had at that time, because fashion is creating a line is all about how much money do you have.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot make money if you don't have money. And as I was designing, working in the industry, I had a great salary, but I also had responsibilities. I had an apartment, I had a car I had to pay for. So that particular product was easy for me to afford to design and still be creative within the same in the same time.
So what makes Burdan New York stands out among other brands?
Question that everyone asks.
Yeah.
No, it is. It really is. Let me tell you, Burdan has changed. When I first designed the brand, I wanted it to be ultra high end, amazing fabrics at an expensive price point. But what I wanted to also do at this point, because of what's going on with the pandemic and our lives have changed totally. And my concept behind Burdan is this. Burdan is 3 brands in one. And let me tell you how that's being achieved.
Yeah,
Burdan is affordable. So it's the price point of an affordable pair of underwear.
So
it's less than Calvin Klein. So the price point is anywhere from $12 to $19.
Really?
I actually dropped the price point because I wanted people to be able to afford multiple pairs of this underwear. But not only that, it's affordable, but yet it has high-end fashion like Hugo Boss. So I'm not lessening my fabrics. I'm actually keeping the same quality fabrics with technology, but for an affordable price. So I'm combining Under Armour. I'm combining Under Armour's technology as far as having moist wicketing, air dry. Then I'm giving it a reasonable price point like Calvin Klein, but yet I'm making it look high fashion like Hugo Boss. So Burdan is 3 brands. The ideas of 3 brands combined in one for an affordable price point.
Now, which fabrics are you using?
So my fabrics range, I use, the percentage is anywhere between 12 Lycra, 86, 88 cotton. I use soft fabric. I use tri-blends, melange fabric. So there's a variety of different fabrics I'm using with these properties. And that's what makes Burdan really hot, is the fact that you can get that comfort. It's very comfortable. I test the fabric. I test the quality with the factory to make sure that it's going to last. And that's another thing. You can get over 300 washes out of Burdan and still remain a nice pair of underwear. When you start washing underwear over and over again and start falling apart, Burdan doesn't do that. I literally have a pair of underwear that I had from 6 years ago that I actually wear now.
And they're still
wearable. Yeah.
So what makes Burdan? Oh, I did ask that. I'm sorry. Who is the brand made for? Describe the Burdan man.
The Burdan man is one who works hard, successful in their own right, and that could be a person who's a janitor, but successful in their craft, or a person who's a creative director. So there's a huge range, but the age category ranges from anyone from 28 to 48. But it's that person who's a hard worker, who wants a good quality pair of underwear for an affordable price.
All body types?
All body types. All body types. When I first designed the brand, I stopped at large, but now the new collection that I'm actually working on, because I took some time off. I took about a year off because I actually relocated here to Washington, D.C., and I wanted to focus on rebranding the brand. So this fall 2021, there will be a whole new collection, and it will come with underwear, and it will also come with swimwear for the following spring 2022.
Do we have anything to show for that?
Well, our pictures that you see,
now.
This is actually my older collection that you see up now. That's the actual 2-stripe printed trunk underwear right there. But the new stuff is about to drop. I'm gonna have actual previews in about 2 months from now at BurdanNewYork.com that you can actually see what's about to hit. But it's hot. I had to take my time and really rethink how I want to design it, and the quality as well as the price point.
So do you design all of your wares, or you have other?
I design everything from Illustrator, and I create tech packs, and I send it over to China to get made. But now this new factory I have is in Columbia, so I'm dealing with the new factory.
Columbia, South Carolina, or Columbia, Maryland?
No, Colombia.
Oh, Colombia. You didn't say. I'm just asking. I'm thinking
the country.
I'm always thinking USA.
No, not in USA.
Okay.
Not USA. And I'm actually going to meet with the factory. I'm meeting with the factory out there the next month to go over fabrications.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's going to be a new style, a new feel.
What's the new style?
The new style is going. I was afraid at one time, many years ago, to be loud and to be boisterous.
Be bold.
Be bold. Berdan is going to be bold. It's going to be well designed. It's going to be amazing fabrics for an affordable price point, because I want everyone to be able to wear Berdan, but it's going to be a boldness and what I mean that is going to be prints. It's going to be lines. It's going to be architectural structures within the underwear and the swimwear as well.
So do you have a team of people that work with you, or are you working solo? A cluster of people?
When I was in Chicago, I had a team of people that I work with. I relocated here, so I'm in the process of rebuilding that team of people to make this bigger and better than what it was before. But I want to thank my friends in Chicago. They were extreme. Let me tell you something. Chicago was the most supportive customer-based location. These men and women supported me to the utmost. And I definitely want to give a shout out to Chicago. I want to give a shout out to so many people. The last fashion show I had, Blake Martin, he's a fashion guru, connoisseur. Everybody know about Blake Martin, and he helped me put on an amazing show before I left. Actually, a couple of months after I moved here to Washington, and he did an amazing concept with my show.
So what is ahead of you? What are you doing? What is your what's going on? Any projects coming?
Well, I'm an entrepreneur. So I have a graphic design business as well. So I'm always picking up projects, working on that. But the focus is going to be the relaunch of Berdan. It's going to be T-shirts and also socks. I design socks as well.
Okay.
So it's going to be T-shirts, socks, and underwear for fall 2021. And then I'm going to break into the swimwear for next spring 2020.
Maybe by then my body will be right.
Well, I'm trying to get mine back to where it used to be, but Corona weight has impacted all of us.
More than Corona.
A little bit of laziness too, but that's definitely the focus right now is to make that brand bigger and to get that brand up and going.
Is the brand national only, or is it going to an international direction?
It's national. I mean, there's over, I would say, about 18 different states of people that rock and wear Berdan. The goal is for that, but I want to pay homage to United States, and I want the brand to grow here. And then once it gets to that level, definitely I will look at that. But right now, I want to pay homage to who we are now. We got a new administration, Biden administration.
You're gonna do a Biden draw.
So I want it to be for people from where we are.
Okay. So what is your fashion advice to men? Not only for underwears, but for other apparels as well. Underwears are first because you gotta be comfortable. I know if I put on something too tight, I'm gonna be pulling. I think this is the advice. When it comes to underwear, you want to wear something that's comfortable because you don't want to be uncomfortable throughout your day while you're at work. But guess what? A lot of us are working from home. So there are some people who might not even wear underwear. That's true.
They might be sitting in the camera with just a shirt top on. So I think what it is, it's all about having a jersey stretch to your fabric, whatever it is. So because of the fact that we're not as active that we used to be. And so you want to definitely get a fabric that has a slight stretch.
So I noticed, not to cut you off, I noticed that that nylon, because I bought some other brand, supposed to be cooling, but you were sweating. Everything was sweaty after a couple of hours.
Wearing nylon, right?
Yeah, it's like, okay, so that's not really
that's not a fabric that actually has pores where it can cool you.
Right.
That's a fabric that's more for entrapping heat and warmth to your body.
Right.
So yeah, that's definitely not a fabric that I would recommend.
So what is this here that we're seeing on the screen?
So that's my purple trunk with a red waistband, and the back has a rise to actually lift your buttocks up to make your butt look fuller in a pair of pants. Right. No, a lot of guys they want to have a certain shape to their dress pants, their derriere, and that particular trunk would help you to create that shape and form your body. It is extremely comfortable.
And how much those run for?
That pair is about $19.
Oh, that's not bad.
Not at all.
And they come in small, medium, large, extra large, or
yes, they come. Those ones came only in small, medium, large, but the new stuff is going to come in extra large and double X large, double X. Yeah.
Okay. So, what can our viewing audience look forward? How can they contact you and your brand?
Okay.
How do they get to know you better so they can become more familiar about what you're selling and, I guess, at one point, purchase?
Yeah. So my website is www.berdan, BERDAN, and New York spelled out.com. You can actually buy the socks and underwear on that site. And I created a fragrance too when I was in Chicago. I got it made in Germany. It was called Sandalwood.
Okay.
And
a fragrance.
A fragrance. I created
Sandalwood.
Yeah, I went to a factory and I tested smells, and I actually created it and sent it over to Germany.
So where can we find it?
It's sold out. So I'm going.
Oh, really?
It did.
It's so convenient that it's sold out.
It did. I only did 100 units of it.
You didn't bring the whole sample.
I know, but I'm designing a new brand for fall of cologne, and that's another thing I'm doing. That's going to be a special. I want to surprise everyone, but I'm designing a new fragrance in this fall, and I'm in the process of putting together the actual scents. So top notes.
So when you're thinking of your scents, what are you incorporating?
Well, the thing is, when you start thinking about fragrance, you think about the top note, what's going to be the most significant song, and you think about who your client is. For me, personally, I like citrus mixed with sandalwood to kind of give it like that in-between type of smell where you still got a nice, I would call it like a springy smell.
A springy but warm.
But yet still having a masculine flair, to the scent. But I'm in that process now, and that's going to drop too in fall.
Okay. So are there any fashion shows? Are you going to be doing New York Fashion Week or something?
Well, that's the thing. Because of COVID,
yeah,
it's a lot of and even prior to COVID, a lot of designers were doing shows not in Lincoln Theater anymore, but actually in their own locations, their own stores, their own sites. So I will be doing a fall show and a spring show, but it will be on a private location.
Virtual.
Yeah, it will be taped, but it's going to be at a smaller location with an intimate crowd.
And where that will be?
It's going to be in Washington, D.C.
Will you let Quiet on the Set magazine?
Yes,
so
I will let you know. Yes, I'm going to post it on my website so people will know and everything.
Quiet on the Set want a special invitation to come and cover it live.
Yes, you can.
Thank you very much. So, you have other skill sets. You graphic design. I mean, you do all sorts of things. So, are you going to incorporate your graphic designs with your fashion, or are you going to keep them separate?
Well, this is what's going to happen. While I'm designing this line, and once it get really to the point where I always look at the ROI. I need to know what the return on the investment is. So once you get at a point to where this business is doing extremely well financially, I want to then go into home. So I want to make candles. I want to make pillows. I want to do a collection of homeware.
Okay.
Because I love decorating my house. I love decorating. I've always had a skill set of putting things together. So yeah, the next step for Berdan, I'm not going to go into collections and clothing line because I feel like I know what I am and who I am, and I am intimate apparel. That's your baby. That's my lane. That's my lane too.
Right.
So I'm going to stay in it.
Stay in your lane.
I'm going to develop it. I'm going to love it. I'm going to nurture it. I'm going to make it happen, and I'm going to be that intimate apparel designer. And I'm fine with that. I don't need to do a clothing line or collection. But then I'm going to go into home because I love pillows. I love different accessory items, candles that actually fit in the house because it's all a level of creation and design and color.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So that's my next step.
Man, I have a pair of underwear that says Friday up on Friday. Are you gonna make anything that emulates the days of the weeks or whatever? I mean, like Monday, Friday, because everybody feels different on a Monday, then a Tuesday, then on a Saturday. So he's gonna make anything that can relate to those days of the week.
I'm probably not, but what I am going to do, I'm going to have underwear that you will wear when you want to be sexy and you want your partner to see you in a certain type of sexy, intimate moment. And then I'm going to also make those everyday pair of underwear where you just want to wear them to work, you come home and take them off. But no, I definitely am going to focus on having that level of sexy when it comes to your underwear, where you feeling like you want to take pictures on Instagram and you want to, and that's another thing right now with
the one we're seeing now.
Yeah, so it's called Living in Your True Color. That's an actual campaign that I'm going to grow bigger for next spring. Where we're going
when did you start this campaign?
Well, I put together the concept last year, and because let me tell you something. They're in life, it seems like people are who they are for whatever situation they're in. Mm-hmm. So, I'm going to be a professional person because I work for this major company, but they're not living in their truth and in their color. There are people that want to celebrate life differently, but they don't because of where they are as far as their career or who may know them or who may say something about them being true to themselves. So this particular campaign is going to be about you being true to who you are. You're living in your true color of who you are and celebrating it and loving it and embracing it the way you should. You should be excited about life and live in your truth. And that's what this campaign is going to be about for spring. But it's going to speak
this
on...
spring or 22?
22. But it's going to speak on different movements that's happening, that have happened in the United States. And you'll see more. I don't want to tell you too much about that. No, don't. Yeah, you'll see more about that movement.
Because you may have to come back on the set.
Yeah, I definitely will. Because it's gonna be so powerful. You're gonna want me to talk about it.
You sure?
Yeah, it's gonna make an impact to just humanity and
now
where we are.
Are you gonna design anything for women?
Let me tell you something. Women's wear is
set.
They have their own lane. That's not my lane.
I'm just asking.
It's not my lane.
Because a lot of men design for women.
Yeah.
They designed the bras and created the bras and the girdles and stuff.
You're right.
Like
you're right. No, I agree.
That's why I asked.
But I know me and who I am and my quest is to help men feel better when it comes to wearing underwear, feel comfortable, and to go throughout the day. That's me. That's what I've been put here to do, and I'm going to do it. And I'm going to stay in my own lane.
So how many pair of underwear do you have?
Oh, my gosh.
Probably have a whole...
I wear my own underwear every day.
Well, you should.
Unless I want to test another pair out to see about comfort. Because we're always looking at... Let me tell you something. There's a lot of African-American men underwear designers. Now, in D.C. alone, there's over 2 or 3. And then there's some in Atlanta, Houston, Chicago. One of my friends in Chicago, he does swimwear and underwear. And I want to also pay. One of my friends passed away. He designed a line called Llewellyn. I want to pay homage to him. Absolutely an amazing designer. Amazing work. This guy knows how to put together prints so well and so easily. And I just want to, he's up in heaven now, but I just want to pay respect to him and his line. And Blake Martin is going to take that line over and do amazing things with that line as well. That was his best friend. But yeah, so you just got to know your lane. And that's what I like to stay in my lane.
Now, in one of the fashion shows that we showed, the guy came out and had like a baseball,
yeah, so that was called the Raglan tee.
Did you design
I designed that too because I wanted to create some accessory items with the Raglan tee because just having underwear is one thing.
I can wear that with a pair of jeans.
But you can wear that with a pair of jeans, exactly.
Right. So are you still going to be incorporating?
That's going to be the concept of that shirt will be T-shirts. I'm going to come out with. So that's going to be the undergarment T-shirts. But of course, I want to change the actual style and look. Okay. But yeah, that's something I'm getting into as well, is to have that T-shirt, but yet lightweight comfort, so you can wear under your garments. Yeah.
So you should produce a magazine that shows men underwear, like they have ladies magazines, and I see them online all the time. You see ads for men underwears and stuff like that. So,
I think the goal is to create commercials that are provocative, commercials that are thought worthy, commercials that really speaks to what's going on, but yet
shine. Yeah, there it goes right there.
Yeah, that's a raglan tee. Yeah, that's a raglan tee right there.
So if you make one, can you make me one with a bigger band? I like.
Yeah, well, that band is actually a sweater band. It's a one-by-one ripped sweater band.
That should be really interesting.
Yeah, that's a real interesting concept that I played with and that I'm going to play with continuing. But yeah, definitely the bigger bands are really hot. But it changed so much with fashion. Yeah. Women is hot, women is not.
Yeah.
So you got to stay on trend.
Well, the hot person got to keep wearing it so people say, oh, that's hot no matter when they wear it.
That is true. That's true. That's like a Chanel piece.
That's right.
Timeless.
Timeless. Make a timeless piece. Make a timeless piece. I bet you do a bigger band with some ribs in it. Timeless.
Okay. I'm going to call that the era.
Hey, call it what you make. Call it what you make. But we are super proud of you being that we're from the same alma mater.
Yes.
You know. I think we all.
Bison,
yeah. We all do something.
Well, you know, Howard has produced and will continue to produce amazing people. I mean, you have your magazine, creative people. Howard has always been that utopia, been that mountaintop of producing people who are successful, people who contribute to society, whether it's government, whether it's nonprofit organizations. I mean, think about just the people, the famous people that have graduated from Howard, and that will continue to graduate.
And we're going to be. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't want to be famous because famous not. I just want to be.
I want to be wealthy.
I want to be relative.
Relative. Yeah.
Keep relativity. Keep going and tell stories and focus on people and telling their stories, letting people know. And that's what success is to me about. It's not like the wealth and all. We have our wealth and our gifts.
That is true. That is true.
And your wealth is in those gifts.
Yes.
So I didn't know you did all that until I was just so happened because I didn't see you in a while. And I said, since we had left Howard, you know.
But let me tell you, the crazy thing is that when I was at Howard, I was studying business. And
you said so.
Yeah, but then I realized I had dyslexia. And I was wondering why I was not doing well academically at Howard. And when I found that out, and a friend of mine, he came to me, he was like, well, what do you like to do? Like, what are you passionate about? I said, well, I like coordinating fashion shows and doing that. You know, why don't you study something like that? And then there was a program called fashion merchandising.
Right.
So when I got into that program after making, and it was hard because you hear, study business, study law, all the things that's going to make you rich. Study those particular areas.
So it's a cauldron of all the stuff in your head.
And then
filter all that stuff out.
You had
what
to.
Your focus is going to be.
And I made that decision and choice to go study fashion, merchandising, and it's been amazing. My GPA went up from a 2.2 to a 3.5.
Amazing.
So it was
because that was your niche.
That was my niche.
That was your niche.
And sometimes it takes a struggle to find where you need to go.
And that's true. But see, some people stop at a struggle and say, I can't do it, it's too hard, because they're not enduring. And they're not seeing what's going to be on the tail end of this whole journey. And you can't stop there. And don't let people tell you no, guys. I had many people tell me, you can't do this. I had people in school saying, he's not supposed to be there. He's not supposed to be in this program. But mind you, when I graduated with a 4.0, straight A's. And I had my own product and I had my own business. And I went to work every day for 9, maybe 10 hours, and then went to school.
Wow.
So these professors didn't know my story. They didn't know my story. They didn't know my grind. They just saw me come in with a suit and an attaché case because I had a professional life before I went to on campus. I wasn't a campus kid. So don't let anyone tell you guys what y'all can and cannot do. You can do anything you want to do. You're going to get a lot of no's. Just keep those no's. A door's going to open. And then don't rely on anyone to tell you that you can't and can't. You tell you what you can and cannot do.
I agree with that.
Because I seen this man when, what we freshmen? I was first year in grad school.
Yeah,
or something like that.
You freshman or sophomore?
Sophomore in
undergrad.
Yeah. And I remember the time when we had to just say, Julius want to do a fashion show or something. Can you take me? Or we were recording something. What were we recording? We went to one of those rooms.
It was a project that I had for one of my courses.
Right.
That you helped me.
It was a course, right?
Yeah, yes. I remember that whole. Yeah, it was cold out there a little bit too. I remember that.
That was some time ago. It's okay. So who was Mark? Was it you walking down the aisle or something? I had to shoot it.
It was
something. It was something that you had some clothes that you designed or something.
Yeah, for a fashion show.
Right.
Okay, no.
And that was a while. Look, this man has his brand. He has his brand. I have my magazine, and I'm working on a couple of films. So we do well. Don't let nobody tell you can't do.
Amen.
But I thank you for your time and the story that you shared with us and the audience. And I'm looking forward to getting some. I brought another friend has underwear line too as well.
I actually brought you some product.
Oh,
yes.
Well, can you bring them to the cameras?
It's right over there.
Well, come on, where they at?
Let me get it. Hold on.
He's going off the set to get them, so he'll be right back. He brought me some product, and it better fit too.
It's in the car.
It's in the car, so don't worry about it. We can always come back to that. But I am very proud of you, Julius. I remember when. And that's a good thing because I remember and that shows that you can move on in life and do whatever to stick to it. Stay on your grind, people. I don't care if you're 40, 30, 20, 50, 60. If you got a dream, I seen people that graduated with me in my undergrad. They were 70 years old getting their master's in engineering. And there's one lady, she was 72. She got a full $40,000 scholarship for the years that she was going to continue at this school.
Wow. Yeah.
You can do whatever.
Yeah.
And
put your mind to it.
Yeah, put your mind. I'm very proud of you.
Proud of you.
I can't wait to see the gifts that you brought. Probably no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I got something for you.
I'm more than sure. But I'm proud of this man, and hats off to you. Thank you. I'm wishing you well. But when you do have whatever shows, let QOTS Mag know, and we'll be right there to cover. And then promotion and ads and stuff.
So that's the thing. Because of my graphic design background, I'm going to put all that together and start moving that. But I'm going to have someone who's actually going to work and push it and market it. And I'm just going to create the concepts and so they can just market it.
Yeah.
You got to think about ways of, creating a budget that's affordable that you can get everything done.
Yeah, and that's true. That's with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything.
But it'll happen.
Yes.
You'll be doing one thing only, signing checks. You won't be even design. Like, okay, take it to my associate designer. He'll tell you what I like. Yeah, okay, go ahead. But hats off to you, my brother. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
This is Quiet on the Set magazine. We're signing off with Julius Martin.
But we do have a commercial we want to show you.
Show. Let's show the commercial. I'm sorry. I don't want to go do an outro without showing his product. So can you show that commercial, please? Yeah, but it's been a long road.
It has, but it's been a good road. Ups and downs, you get up and keep it moving, make it happen. And
your mind just constantly think, here it goes. So here's the commercial. Okay.
That's all it's just about.
When did this get shot?
This was a long time, a couple of years ago. But what I love about it is showing the silhouette of the brand. And it's just like a sexy commercial with a great looking model as well. Now, it gives you the website that you can actually log on to get
very well. So you see the website there, www.BurdenNewYork.com.
Yes.
That's where you get your garments from. Very well. But and also start showing thicker people so they can get in buying.
Yes.
Those too.
Okay.
Is another commercial here?
Yeah, that's another one. Second one I did as well, and that's the trunk that's really popular among guys, but it's white. So like a lot of people run from white, but to me, white is pure. It's sexy.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep clean, but a lot of people run from white because of the fact that it gets dingy and it's hard to keep clean as well. But white is hot. It's sexy. It always.
But I heard is white is healthier too.
What you mean healthier?
That's what I heard because the dyes and the bleach.
Oh, without having the dyes, the fabrics are natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
natural.
That's it. I would have to do some research.
Research that.
Yeah, I'm gonna research that
because I was wondering why this is not for underwears. This is not for underwears, but my podiatrist says I want you and the person that work on my feet every other week when they do my mani and pedi.
Oh, every
and then
week.
my doctor,
some nice feet.
And my doctor, no, the hell I don't. Then my doctor said, well, my doctor says, put Vaseline.
Oh yeah, I do believe in that.
And wear white socks.
He said white socks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So I was wondering if that was maybe because I don't know what white does to the skin. Can you research that?
I'll research that.
I want you to research that and then maybe write some type of
I'll do a write-up for you in the magazine.
Yeah. So we got that on camera, guys.
Got that on camera.
If you don't deliver that article
I'm going to deliver the article
for this spring season, for the spring edition that's coming up, then you'll know that he didn't do it because you'll read about
deliver it.
He's going to deliver that article about
white
colors,
socks.
Not white socks, but
white fabric
against
your skin.
Against your skin. Mm-hmm. He said, put on white socks and lotion your feet or Vaseline and put on the white socks every night.
But there's what's that lotion that's really, it's an African lotion. It's called it comes in a yellow container. It looks like a lard.
I was gonna say lard.
No, it looks like that, but it helps. It really softens your feet and hands.
You didn't tell me.
I'll give you that. It helps.
Yeah,
it works.
Well, very well. So, guys, we're gonna sign off tonight because I know that it's late and we ran a little behind, but we got 2 good interviews in. Thanks to my former guest, Pardlow, rap and R&B artist, and then I have here the extraordinaire. Now he's going to be the major brand soon. Berdan, New York. Berdan, New York. So I can't wait to see what he got. I'm not going to wear them on to let y'all know.
You should not.
The hell am I here? You done told a lie. No. He may be one of my Bison brothers, but not this time around. But we will. Maybe we'll do a mini fashion show, and we'll the quieter set with help produce it and feature it. Okay.
All right.
Very well. But thanks, guys, for tuning in.
Thank you so
much.
And
have a good and safe evening. Be blessed.
Be blessed.